Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 9 of The Watcher. This episode will cover the first third of the year 2008. And here's some news for you. John Bones Jones, he's ready to fight. Anywhere from 205 to 245, he'll do it. And honestly, maybe I'll just edit it so he wants to go up to heavyweight. Maybe I won't. I don't know. But let's get simming. And as is tradition, as I sim the first week, we will go ahead and throw the power rankings up there, made by, of course, Eric Fonga, player guy. We do have an 11th guy in our save. It just hasn't really come up yet. He hasn't gotten a fight booked or anything, and I don't control that. Again, I never interfere, so I don't know. Hopefully he'll get a fight soon, and he'll get well on his way to glory. I'm not really sure what to do about the fact that he's got nothing going on, you know? So we will get that figured out. If he doesn't have a fight soon, I might interfere just to get him a fight, just because it doesn't seem quite fair that he doesn't get anything. So we'll see how it goes. 1 week into 2008 and absolutely nothing has happened, which is, you have 10 fighters, you assume one of them would be doing something, but honestly, if you pick 10 random fighters, there's probably not that much newsworthy that happens to them in the course of a given week, right? I don't know. Go try it. Go pick 10 random fighters and see what happens. Maybe something happens, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Alright, 2 weeks into January, and we finally have something going on. Anderson is coming to the end of his Strikeforce contract. Might renegotiate with them, might not. But the Ultimate Fighting Championship have offered a contract to 8-1 Alex O'Reilly. Alex's only loss in his record is to George Joe. He's coming off a 3-fight winning streak. He is, no independent circuit fight. So he's 8-1 against fighters. And he has been approached by the Ultimate Fighting Championship, the number 2, because Pride still exists, company in the world. Their heavyweight championship division consists of Andrei Arlovsky, Cain Velasquez, Frank Mir, the champion, Gabriel Gonzaga, Jeff Monson, Paul Buentello, Roy Nelson. That is a crew right there. I don't know, for some reason I thought somebody had faced Paul Buentello, but anyway, that's a tough division. Alex O'Reilly has not faced off against any of those guys, but honestly, Alex is a great fighter, and really, besides one TKO loss to George Joe after just getting caught while dominating the whole fight, Anderson might be the best minute-by-minute fighter in this group. So I don't know, but assuming it goes through, we will have to see after the sim processes. But wow, huge step for Alex O'Reilly. And we are live in London for a big doubleheader of fights, the co-main and main event. Alex O'Reilly versus Neil Grove, and George Joe versus James Zikic 2. Cage Rage 26. Will Alex O'Reilly be, hypothetically, headed off to UFC? Let's see if he signed, actually. He is. He has an exclusive contract with UFC. So as soon as this is over, he's going to UFC, win or lose. So, will Alex O'Reilly go ahead and send himself into the UFC with a huge win? Honestly, Alex has been crazy active. He fought in November, he fought in September, November, and now January. So, huge, crazy active for Alex. But, honestly, I'm so excited to have a fighter heading to the UFC. I know it hasn't been that long, but I'm an impatient man, and we want our guys to be the best of the best. So, without further ado, let's get straight into it. Alex O'Reilly versus Neil Goliath Grove, a mixed martial artist versus a brawler. O'Reilly definitely smothering Grove now, boxing each other against the cage. O'Reilly definitely good at pinning people against the cage and just making their life miserable. Neither guy dealing a ton of damage yet. Grove hits a big punch. It seems like he hurt his hand. That's not great for him. The iron chin of Alex O'Reilly holding up once again. Against a weak jab. Grove hits a straight right. Two guys exchanging strikes. Grove counter jab. Ooh, right cross lands hard from O'Reilly. He's walking down Grove now. Grove hits 2 left hands on the counter. O'Reilly with a big feint. Doesn't manage to land the killer blow he was looking for there. That's the end of round 1. O'Reilly definitely won it, but I don't know if it was dominant, you know? I didn't feel like it was hugely dominant over Grove, but Grove's kind of 36, so it's... Again, O'Reilly's missing more punches than he's maybe used to. Maybe his schedule taking a toll on him, or maybe he's just saving some energy for the later half. Doesn't want to get himself hurt before heading to UFC. Hard to say. Lands a big right cross, though. Getting a little bit tired now, walking down Grove. Grove misses a left hand. O'Reilly hits a straight right. Grove scores with a right cross. Grove's hit a couple of right crosses now. It's not doing too bad as we're halfway through the fight and halfway through the second round. O'Reilly's going to try to pin Grove against the cage. His bread and butter. Ooh, goes for that trip takedown, gets side control, and now we're going to go for some grappling here. Goes for a Kimura. Grove manages to escape it. Very tired now. Grove tries to pull guard, but can't get it. O'Reilly working for mount. Tries to get it. They rush into a scramble. O'Reilly in guard now. Trying to pound away on Grove. Doesn't get it. Grove goes for the double underhooks. Can't get it, but we end the ground with Alex on top. And Alex on top 2-0. Like every round, it starts back on the feet. Two guys are tired. Alex with the knee strike to the side of the stomach. O'Reilly looking very tired now. O'Reilly has one submission win in his career, as we talked about that grappling earlier. Knee strike to the side of the ribs now. Again, but this clinch is where Alex is just too good. He might not have that knockout power from this range, but his wrestling skills make it very, very hard for him to escape that clinch. The dirty boxing, the knees, even foot stomps. Alex will wear you down there, and now Grove is just exhausted. Look at him. He's got a minute left to try to get a knockout here and can't get it. O'Reilly lands a big left cross. Under a minute left in the round, and in the fight, Grove backs up against the cage. O'Reilly hits a knee strike to the side of the ribs. Grove takes a few right hands from dirty boxing, and that is it. Judges' scorecards are about to be announced. All three judges have given all 3 rounds to Alex O'Reilly. So congratulations to Alex O'Reilly. You're a winner by unanimous decision. And in pretty strong fashion, he is exiting Cage Rage with a win. Congratulations to Alex O'Reilly. His Cage Rage record, as of right now, assuming he is leaving, is 5 wins, 1 loss, and that only loss is to the champion, George Joe. Speaking of the champion, George Joe, he is on right after Alex O'Reilly. I'm curious how he feels about his rival getting that UFC contract before him. Does it make him mad? Does he not care? You know, it's tough to say. It doesn't really seem like George Joe cares about much but punching people in the face. He did get this title shot off of the back of... Or he did go on an absolute tear after going to prison for fighting in the street. So, a public brawl. It's just kind of who George Joe is. But he is the number 20 heavyweight in the world, and he's facing the messenger, James Zikic. In the second time, George Joe beat him to defend the Cage Rage heavyweight title, but Zikic is the Cage Warriors light heavyweight title holder. George Joe has 40 pounds on him and beat him in 1 minute last time. So we will have to see if Zikic is gonna do any better this time around. 2 men touch gloves, just exchanging strikes in the center of the ring. Joe hits him with a right cross. 2 guys fighting one over. Zikic is off balance. Takes that right cross again. He's on rubbery legs. Big right hand from Joe. He's pounding away. Zikic is eating a bunch of strong shots. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, after 1 minute and 19 seconds in the very first round, George Joe has won by TKO. That is the 7th TKO victory of George Joe's career and the 7th consecutive TKO victory in George Joe's career. He's now defended the Cage Rage Heavyweight Championship twice against James Zikic and moves to 8-0 overall. Maybe they will find him a different opponent next time. We will have to see. But congratulations to George Joe, and still your Cage Rage Heavyweight Champion of the world. And I would be remiss not to mention that Alex O'Reilly has finished his contract with Cage Rage. Anderson has extended his contract with Strikeforce, but Alex O'Reilly is a UFC fighter. Crazy. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. We got news. Machado McGregor, he got a fight. It's our, I forgot to upload his picture. our latest and greatest and weirdest looking fighter. He has got himself a local fight booked in America. He is, of course, a 0-0 record from Fermanagh, for someone got somebody to pronounce that, Northern Ireland. Anderson has extended his deal with Elite XC. K1 Heroes has approached Bobby Braxton, so he is maybe not leaving Japan, but may run across one Jack Duplessis. And Anderson has extended his deal with Elite XC. I think I closed the wrong one. Hold on. Shortlist. Yeah, this is the biggest news here. Bruno Guimas is going to be defending his Elite... Oh, no, he's not. He is going to be facing off with Brock Lesnar, though. So, making his Elite XC debut against Brock Lesnar, who, believe it or not, if I remember correctly, is 1-1 now. So he did win a fight after losing to Billy Willie. He did defeat Travis Weef by unanimous decision. Young Brock does not quite have the killer instinct that he did in real life, but he will be facing off against King of the Cage champion Bruno Guimas. So that should be a crazy fun fight. We will see that in March, so we'll be on this exact video. Alright, Anderson has now been booked to face Shane Carwin. 4-0 Shane Carwin has beaten Daniel Puder and Travis Fulton so far in Strikeforce. He will be facing off against Anderson, who is 3-1, having defeated Camarlo Marrero and losing to Brandon Lee Henkel, also here in Strikeforce. So, that'll be fun. Briggs versus Davis. We will see that in March as well. And Bobby Braxton has, in fact, signed an exclusive contract with K1 Heroes. K1 Heroes, of course, also featuring Jack Duplessis, but building up a nice little heavyweight roster there for themselves. 23 heavyweights on the roster. Their heavyweight champion, is Semi Schlitt, who has yet to defend, but he will be defending against Alexei Oleinik in March. So, a target for both of these men, of course. Jack probably hoping that Alexei doesn't win, because he does hold a loss to Alexei in his record, but both guys getting a bit of a decent-sized ladder for them to climb up, and we will see how it goes. Just a bit more news. George Joe has been offered a contract by KSW, of all people. That's kind of cool. I really think they should be targeting, that UFC should be targeting him, but KSW, we don't have anybody there yet, mostly because they seem to have just opened heavyweight roster. Stefan Struve, Mario Sperry, and Kirill Sidelnikov. All right. So I don't know if I'd take that if I were George. I would hold out for the big contract, but if he wants a KSW fight, go for it. Anderson has joined AMC Pancration to train. There you go. There's news. All right, a little more news there. Oh, look at that. Frank Mir defended his title for the 4th time against Andrei Arlovsky again. You gotta stop doing that, guys. Come on. But we got Alex O'Reilly booked to face Mike Whitehead. He's going to be making his UFC debut on the undercard of a GSP pay-per-view. That's crazy. Michael Whitehead, a 15-5 career fighter, just coming off a loss to Andrei Arlovsky, but 4-1 in UFC overall. So, Whitehead is a tough fight for Alex. Might be getting thrown to the wolves just a tad here, but we will have to see. He is a very capable man. In further news, Eric Fonga has been booked against Powell Nastula, a 1-2 heavyweight fighter. Kind of seems like not going to be a fun time for Powell, but that is Fonga style. Jack Duplessis is coming to the end of his K1 Heroes contract. Could be renegotiating. Builds a 1-1 record with K1 so far, and has been booked for them in March. So maybe he'll wait till after that fight to try to increase his stock. We'll have to see. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in Colorado. A bunch of guys are fighting, but there's only one we care about. It's time for Machado McGregor versus Alan Cooper. Machado McGregor, 242 pounds. It's kind of random, but he's a kickboxer. They're going to facing off against Alan Cooper. McGregor lands a right cross. Misses a head kick attempt. Cooper scores with the left hook. McGregor, left jab, nice right hook. McGregor pressuring Cooper. Cooper hits 2 counter jabs. McGregor hits left hand, misses a low kick. Both of them exchanging strikes. We're past the halfway mark of this round now. This is McGregor's debut, professional debut. He's not had time to train or anything, so again, he's a late comer, but we should not expect him to be quite on the exact same level as Cooper. or as sorry, the rest of our guys. He is on a higher level than Cooper for sure. Cooper with the counter jab. McGregor tries some fast punches there. Good hand speed from McGregor. Straight left from McGregor too. Definitely getting the better of Cooper here. McGregor, verbal barrage of trash talk. 22 seconds left. Cooper overextends himself in response and then gets crossed, and McGregor switches back to a traditional stance. Both fighters exchanging blows in the first minute of the second round here. Cooper gets clobbered with a right hook from McGregor. Tries to intimidate his opponent with some quality trash talk. Both guys coming together to strike. Cooper misses a jab, lands a left hook, throws quick punches. Here they go. Cooper with a left jab and a right cross. McGregor with a nice 1-2. A crunching right hook from McGregor now. We're halfway into the fight. Neither fighter doing any damage so far. McGregor coming forward. Cooper with the counter left. Big right from McGregor again. McGregor, definitely his kickboxing style showing well here. No takedowns, no clinches, just punches and kicks. Cooper more than happy to oblige him there. And we're heading into the final minute of round number 2. Right. Oh, huge uppercut from McGregor, and it's out. He's out. It's all over. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner by knockout in 4 minutes and 25 seconds into the second round of the fight, Machado McGregor. So, huge win from McGregor with a knockout punch as he makes his debut on the American local scene. Congratulations to him. Well, one of the biggest bits of heavyweight-related news, Fedor's back. Viewers might remember he failed a drug test, got suspended for a year, and now he's back. He has only lost once to Tsuyoshi Kosaka back in 2000, meaning in the save he is 4-0, 3-0. He is the heavyweight champion of Pride. He defended against Crow Cop, Josh Barnett, and Pedro Rizzo, but I believe that Crow Cop is the heavyweight champion now. He's not. He lost to Big Nog, Antonio Rodrigo. So he is now the heavyweight champion of Pride. And he lost to Fedor back in December of 2004. So anyway, all that to say, Fedor's back, and he is probably on the warpath, if I had to guess. Also, Jeff Monson did drugs. Shocking. And in our news, Machado McGregor beat Alan Cooper. We knew that. And Jack Duplessis has extended his contract. And we are back in California for another glorious Strikeforce card. Anderson facing off with Shane Carwin in the third to last fight of the night, I should say. So Shane Carwin is a 4-0 fighter. 2 wins in Strikeforce so far, and Anderson is a 3-1 fighter. 1 win, 1 loss in Strikeforce so far, and he's coming off a TKO win over Mario Rinaldi. So both guys fairly young in the career, except Shane Carwin's 33, and Anderson is 21. Shane a huge favorite here, but I'm sure Anderson won't let that stop him. Carwin's a big dude. Alright, so Carwin misses the big right hand. Anderson catches him with a hook. Anderson gets hit with the big right hook. Oh, he's down on the ground. Carwin's pounding away at him. Anderson's eating some big shots here, and that's it. Oh, no. Ladies and gentlemen, after 43 seconds in round number 1, Anderson has been defeated by Shane Carwin by knockout. That is, in fact, the first knockout loss, not TKO, but knockout loss that any of our fighters have suffered in the entire save. I'm not saying it's Anderson's fault, but it's tough. It's a tough one to take, for sure. So unfortunately, Anderson has... I never get sick of saying that, by the way. But Anderson, unfortunately, has lost here, and has now dropped to 3 wins, 2 losses in his career. Shane Carwin moves to 5-0 in his career. All right, Bruno Guimas is now feuding with Mark Coleman. Interesting. But he has left Hammer House, but he might be joining Ultimate Fighting Championship, the 7-0 undefeated, facing off against Brock Lesnar, heavyweight. King of the Cage heavyweight champion. We may be heading to UFC to join, who is it? I completely spaced. Alex O'Reilly. So, very cool. The biggest of the big for our guys. We are very excited for Bruno. All right, we're back in Japan for a K1 show. Semi Schlitt versus Alexei Oleinik in the main event for the title. But lower on the undercard, Jack Duplessis and Maurizio Cruz will be facing off in the heavyweight division. Let's get straight to it. The first fight on the main card. Jack is coming off of a win over Kimo Leopoldo, and he'll be facing off against Marcio Cruz. Marcio Cruz versus Jack Duplessis. Let's get into it. Referee John McCarthy. Jack is a 5-1 wrestler, and Marcio Cruz is a jiu-jitsu specialist. Jack's only career loss came by Jack's only career loss came by submission here in K1 to Alexei Oleinik. JDP with a big back fist to the jaw. He's taking huge shots there. Cruz maybe is going to try to survive it. Again, Brazilian jiu-jitsu specialist. Jack's wrestling definitely better here. Hasn't conceded anything to these sweeps. Hitting some quick elbow strikes. Cruz does not want to be on the ground here. Jack firing away with these elbows here. Got the knockdown. He's fallen to the ground. It has not... Jack's over on... they're scrambling. Jack's got him up against the ropes. Hits a sharp right to the ear. Knee strike to the thigh. Foot stomp now. A lot of dirty boxing up against the ropes. Takes an elbow for the face. Ooh, knee strike against the ribs. Jack's smothering him. Battering him with elbows. Punches. Another glancing elbow. Cruz is cut open. Cruz had not gotten anything done here in this round, really. Elbow. Knee strike. Another ropes. He's just pinned up there. Jack's absolutely smothered him against the wall. Let's jump into round number 2. Last round. Remember, the fight is scored on the whole thing. Jack misses with a big right. Cruz dodging some punches here. Still moving well. Breathing a little bit deeper now. Jack hits another right hand. Cruz getting tired. Jack getting tired. 12 minutes into the fight. 10-minute first rounds really take a lot out of you. Jack lands 2 strikes now. Breathing hard. Lands a jab. Both guys fighting back and forth. Cruz hits a quick 1-2. Jack clean right hand there. Hits the big left. Misses this kind of killer right hand shot there. Ooh, right hook to the ribs. Cruz was covering up the face there and took that right hook to the ribs. And as we approach the end of the fight here, I think that the clear winner is Jack Duplessis. Yep. So there you go. Jack Duplessis wins by unanimous decision, bringing his K1 record to 2-0. He has won 2 straight after an unsuccessful start here in K1. And now only holds a loss. His only career loss in his 6-1 career is against Alexei Oleinik, who may, in a minute here, become the K1 Heroes Heavyweight Championship. So we'll have to find out. But congratulations to Jack Duplessis on his win. Alright, some news here for you. Bruno Guimas has in fact signed a contract with the UFC, so when he finishes his Elite XC fight against Brock Lesnar in March, here coming up very soon, he will be heading over to the UFC to join Alex O'Reilly. And Machado McGregor has committed assault and is in jail for 18 months. So, that's not great. Not great at all, but he will be about 20 when he gets out, and it worked alright for George Joe, though George only spent 2 months in jail, so we'll have to see what happens to Machado McGregor. I can confirm that Alexei Oleinik did beat Semi Schlitt and is now the heavyweight champion of K1 Heroes. And here we are for the aforementioned Elite XC show. Just one fight on this one for us, but it is a doozy. The one, Bruno Guimas, 7-0 in his career, is going to be facing off 1-1 Brock Lesnar, the former NFL player, kind of, the former WWE heavyweight champion, and the former NCAA heavyweight champion. So, Brock's a big guy, but so is Bruno. Bruno's the one. So, we will have to see how it goes here. Bruno is facing off against Brock Lesnar, who previously holds a loss against Billy Willie on his resume. And so he will be the second one to face off against Brock. And let's get started. This is actually Bruno's Elite XC debut, and I believe it's Brock's as well. Let's check. No, Brock is 1-1 in UFC so far. So 2 guys getting close. Brock wants to grapple. Bruno's trying to throw some strikes here, but Lesnar's grappled him up against the cage, pinning Bruno now. Bruno's smothered up against the cage here. Gets free, though, with some wrestling skills. trying to get closer to attack, hits a right cross hard, closes the distance, looking to strike. Left jab, misses a big right. Lesnar definitely wants to grapple more than he wants to strike. Lesnar manages to grapple Bruno and hits him with a big belly-to-belly slam. A couple quick strikes. Lesnar trying a north-south choke there. Oh, Bruno can't get free of it, but he does survive for 14 seconds. Brock Lesnar definitely wins round number 1. Here we go into round number 2. Guido is a little shell-shocked here, but he can still get this done. Right cross lands hard on Brock. Big left, big right. Bruno getting closer. Body kick from Guimas. Again, Guimas has a leg kick TKO in his history. Lesnar's definitely limping. Guimas hits with the straight right. Right hook from Guimas, definitely getting better. Lesnar's limping a lot. Lesnar shoots for that takedown, though. Guimas is down. He hits the guillotine, though. Oh, Lesnar gets out of it. Guimas smothering Brock to the ground. Or Brock smothering Guimas, but probably not enough to win that round now, and we will have to go into the third round to see how this one goes. If no one can finish, it'll be a close one for sure. Bruno hits a right cross. Lesnar gets into the clinch, tries to pin Guimas against the cage. Bruno's up against the cage now, can't really do much because Lesnar's smothering him. Nothing done for about a minute there. Dirty boxing for another minute. The grappling's gone on too long. 2 minutes. I think Bruno needs to win this round or knock him out flat out. Right cross. Hits with the right head kick. Oh, right cross again. Guimas is hitting strikes now. Left jab. 1 minute left to go. Lesnar trying for the takedown. Oh, he gets it. Guimas had to pull guard. 3 for 3, Bruno. Lesnar smothers Guimas for the rest of the round. Incredibly close round. I, frankly, have zero idea who's going to win this one. I think that Brock definitely won round 1. I think that Bruno definitely won round 2. And I would hate to be the judge for round 3 because, frankly, it was too close to call in my books. But luckily for me, I'm not a made-up WMMA judge, and I can just root for Bruno either way. Bruno's off to UFC after this. Remember this. So here are the scores. All 3 judges have scored at 29-28. For your winner, by unanimous decision, Brock Lesnar. Oh, no. The first loss of Bruno Guimas' career. And it's to the legendary Brock Lesnar. Unfortunate for Bruno. He did not lose his title here because he wasn't defending it. He was an Elite XC while he's the King of the Cage heavyweight champion. However, I'm sure he doesn't feel much like a champion after losing to Brock there. It was a very close fight. I cannot dispute that. But I also can't say that he got robbed, you know? It was a close fight, but at the end of the day, if he couldn't get it done, he couldn't get it done, and Brock Lesnar is your winner tonight. Brock moves to 2-1. Bruno Guimas drops to 7-1 in his career. And Brock Lesnar taunts Ron Francis Jr. for ducking him like the coward that he is. That's a fight I'd love to see. Brock versus Francis Jr. So Brock is now 1-1 against our saved members. He has been defeated by Billy Willie, but he has emerged victorious on this occasion against the one, Bruno Guimas. And as we get here, Bruno Guimas has left Elite XC to head to UFC. Anderson has left AMC Pancration. Alright, as we enter the month of April, we got 3 bookings announced. Billy Willie has been announced to face Daniel Puder at Elite XC, Jensen versus Kohler. Billy Willie holding a 6-0 record, beating Brock Lesnar, Brad Imes in Elite XC so far, and he will be facing Daniel Puder next. Daniel Puder holding a 5-2 record, 1-0 in Elite XC. And honestly, I feel like they should make that for the newly vacated title, but what do I know? Oh no, because he wasn't the Elite XC heavyweight champion. Ron Francis Jr. has been booked to face Chad Griggs, both men 3-1, both men pretty young. Coming off his first career loss, Chad Griggs is, and Ron Francis Jr. coming off his first career loss to Roy Nelson for the Elite XC heavyweight championship. So that'll be a good one. And Bobby Braxton has been booked to chase Jason Farron. Jason Farron has defeated Eric Funga, lost to Jack Duplessis so far in our career, and is 0-2 in K1 Heroes. Bobby Braxton making his K1 Heroes debut after picking up 3 wins on the Japanese independent scene. Bobby is a 6-3 fighter so far. So 3 fights booked. I didn't bother looking at when they're going to happen. If they happen on this show, they happen. If they don't, they don't. But very excited. Alright guys, I'm going to be honest with you. There's like nothing happening in April, so it's pretty boring. Sorry about that. Alright, absolutely nothing happened in April. It is now May, but in exchange for that, we will go take a look around the world at our various contending companies. Cage Rage currently features just George Joe out of our guys. He is holding on to the heavyweight championship. He beat Ian Freeman for it, and then has defended it twice against James Zikic since. The rankings still Czech Congo at number 2, who has already lost to George Joe, but perhaps Czech could get a title shot. Of course, he could probably stand to defend his Cage Warriors heavyweight championship, but you know, whatever. I don't book the fights. Down in Cage Warriors, we no longer have any fighters there, so we're gonna skip on past that. Elite XC definitely features a few guys. First of all, the heavyweight champion is Justin McCulley. Who in the world is Justin McCulley? Alright, there you go. Justin McCulley. After Roy Nelson, I don't know, vacated it? Yeah, I guess. Oh yeah, Roy Nelson went to UFC. Forgot about that. But Roy Nelson vacated the title by beating Ron Francis Jr., and it's now Justin McCulley choked out Tommy Sauer in less than 5 minutes to become the heavyweight champion. That wasn't long ago at all. In his last fight, he lost to Ben Rothwell by submission, because no champion can actually be good. Alright. In the rankings for them, they have 19 heavyweights, including Billy Willie, Ron Francis Jr., of course Brock Lesnar, and I think that's it from our guys. So, and Anderson, who's 1-0 in Elite XC, but did just lose to Shane Carwin in Strikeforce. Anyway, so we have 3 guys in there: Billy Willie, Ron Francis Jr., and Anderson. Billy is 3rd ranked and probably should be in line for a title fight, but he isn't. He's fighting Daniel Puder because, you know, indie MMA. K1 Heroes heavyweight champion is Alexei Oleinik, as we mentioned. He beat Heath Herring for that, who had beat Gary Goodridge back in the day, who beat Rene Ruse for that back in a very long time ago, in July 2005. So all these have taken place within the save, which is cool. But Alexei Oleinik is the champion there, and if we take a peek at the rankings, we have 2 heavyweights in there. Kimbo Slice is in. No, love that. Alright, we take a look at the rankings. We got Jack Duplessis at 9, who beat Marcio Cruz recently. We got Bobby Braxton at 14, who has yet to make his debut, but he will be facing off against 19th ranked Jason Farron. And I believe those are our 2 guys with a K1 contract. King of the Cage no longer features any of our fighters. KSW, I guess he elected not to sign with KSW. I think he had an offer on the table, but he elected not to. Pride still features our very own Eric Fonga. Big Nog, Minotauro, is now the heavyweight champion there after beating Krokop for the vacant belt. He has a matchup against Fedor in June. So, you know, good luck with that, pal. And if we take a look down the rankings, Eric Fonga is currently in 12th. He's facing off against Paulo Natsua, who's 21st. So that's probably not the most important thing to focus on right now. In Strikeforce, the heavyweight champion is, of course, the glorious Earl Mo. Beat Devin Cole for the belt, who in turn beat Brandon Lee Henkel. Mo is the champion and the first rank, of course. He's ready to fight, just I haven't booked anything for him. We'll see who they end up putting up against. Otherwise, we also have Anderson down at 13th in that company, and I believe that is all our guys signed there. And finally, we've got UFC fighters, everyone. Like, bona fide UFC heavyweights. 9th ranked Alex O'Reilly. 11th ranked Bruno Guimas. So, really big. Really big. Like, that's huge. I love that. Alex O'Reilly is booked to fight Mike Whitehead at UFC 74. Whitehead is the 8th ranked heavyweight with UFC and the 22nd ranked heavyweight in the world. Alex O'Reilly, unfortunately unranked in the world, but he is ranked 9th at the UFC. Let's go finally to... Why did I click on myself? Oh, yeah, I'm playing as Mr. Miyagi. I hope you're proud. Let's go finally to the world rankings for heavyweights. And we have to scroll down to 20... oh, that's pound for pound. My bad. Heavyweights. All right, there we go. So we got to scroll down to 15th to get to our first guy. 8-0 George Joe is, of course, a world-ranked heavyweight. And as far as I can tell, that is it. Just George. Yeah, so congratulations to George Joe, his 15th ranked heavyweight in the world. And, of course, the Cage Rage heavyweight champion, just by beating up James Zikic a lot. You know, that's how it goes. We check over our short list. We have, I believe, just a handful of undefeated fighters. Billy Willie is 6-0. Big Sexy Mo is 7-0. George Joe is 8-0. And Machado McGregor is 1-0, which, you know, asterisk by that because one fight isn't very many. But I am so excited with how this save is shaping up. We've got 2 UFC fighters now, and we're really starting to shape the world, guys. Congratulations. And I'll catch you next time.